It's the path I'm taking and route I'm choosing. I did it my way and kept it solid, proof in the music. It ain't too much I can let them tell me, less you been through it. Every champion got his way to pay for, they say he proven it. Yes, I'm about to prove it, obsessing, craving perfection. Make every second infectious, I'm at my best in seclusion. To keep the focus at a 10, they'll salute you before they shoot you. Watch the folks you letting in. I'm moving militant now, fresh off the press. I'm printing Benjamins now, killing all competition and threat my ascent to the crown. I put my name in bold right over the code of my town, as I've been breaking molds and changing the shape of the sound. To me, no higher praise than being an inspiration. It pushed me through the trials and route to my destination. I'm really 101, for me can be no replacement.
So today's the more traditional social media day. Yesterday, I think, was more stuff for like the TV broadcast. So it started with photos. That used to be really awkward. It's still awkward, but it's getting better. And then we got the actual clips for social media for the next hour after this. And then I have a final element to my medicals. Might get a little body work done today, and got an IV tonight when Kate and her crew get in. But much more laid back day than before. Really just got to stay out of the sun. I'm way too ginger for this, and 5 or 6 days of this. So going to stay out of the sun, go back to the Airbnb. Got Nico and Jake coming in, so the whole team will be here today through the day after the show. So yeah, we'll keep you updated throughout the day, but much more laid back day.
Rapid fire. What is the best gift you've ever received?
I actually just got it. I turned 30.
Say stop. 1 hot dog, 2 hot dogs, 3 hot dogs, 4 hot dogs, 5 hot dogs.
It's probably over $10.
5.
It's been good. I took a real roundabout way to get here. I did almost every other show but Worlds before Worlds. A lot of the guys' Worlds is their first of the major contests. For me, I kind of worked my way here in a strange route, and then so I feel very prepared for someone who's quote unquote a rookie to Worlds.
Your travel smooth, no issues?
Yeah, I was the only guy that didn't have to change time zones, and I got to drive. So kind of nice. 10-hour drive from I'm in the Tacoma area. I did most of it, and my cousin did the last 2-3 hours and got here.
Nice.
No, you mentioned before this. You mentioned the Flintstone press, just because we did it at the Arnold, and I also was doing it just by happenstance. That style of training in the off season before the Arnold. I've been doing that lift for like 6 months. I'm very sore when I'm doing it because I'm kind of sick of doing it. Other than that, everything's fine. What's up, guys? We're back at the Airbnb. It's only 2 o'clock. It ended up being a much shorter day with less interesting stuff going on. Thankfully, most of my appointments were front-loaded at the beginning of the day, but we didn't end up with as much for YouTube as we thought we would. But the support since we got here has been awesome. Thank you to everybody who's shared the channel, subscribed to the channel. We are growing rapidly. We have some of our highest viewed videos since we're getting in here, and I'm sure it's only going to keep rolling as we get into the actual comp days, because Braden is going to be putting stuff out fast and get you guys as much World's Strongest Man info as he's allowed to do. But to kind of round out today's video, I wanted to go through some comments and questions, because we got a lot in our last couple World's Strongest Man videos, and go through those, and we'll shut it down for the day.
Somebody said they based it at a railroad museum, but didn't do anything with trains.
Yeah, big miss. The Titans turntable is literally 200 feet from the venue. Honestly, one of my favorite World's Strongest Man events ever. It's kind of the give and take of like having World's Strongest Man be a made for live fans event. Everyone has assigned seats that they pay for, so you kind of have to do all the events in one arena. So even though we're super close to potentially a really cool train related event, we can't do it. Weird sidebar, my first thing I was ever good at was I won a medal as a kid collecting Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. So there's some background lore on my life. Somewhere in my parents' attic, there is a large Thomas the Tank Engine collection that I guarantee my mom has not gotten rid of yet. So as a kid, I was obsessed with trains. So I've grown out of that a bit, but pretty cool. Doing World's Strongest Man at the train yard.
Somebody said Alec being the only coach there is crazy. Feels like people are leaving points off the board.
He's not the only coach here. He's probably the most involved coach. But like Laws came in today. Shane, I want to say Jermaine, but I think he goes by Shane Reese now. There's quite a few coaches that are here today.
I guess to preference what they said if you're allowed to have your coach in the equipment testing area, you should have your coach in the equipment testing area.
Yeah, I mean, people have different levels of involvement that they like. Some prefer hands-off. Some prefer really hands-on. Alec is very hands-on. I don't know. I kind of see Strongman as a bit of a team sport. There are things that your support staff can do that, in a roundabout way, not in a direct way, can add points to the board. And we got a system that works. We know how to score points when we need to. And sometimes that's observing the other guys, learning things, adjusting the game plan. So I do really appreciate those little things that Alec does.
Somebody said Bryce Johnson looks like an absolute unit. Wow.
Yeah, Bryce Johnson is an absolute unit. I think he's in a similar boat to me this weekend where he's strong enough to do any required task for the weekend, but might miss a step in the prelims events. I think he's an absolute killer in the final. What's the term people have used on YouTube before? The barrel-chested Americans are at a little bit of a disadvantage in the group stage just based on the events they picked.
Somebody said, good luck, pal. I know people are concerned about you burning in the sun, but we should be concerned about Alice. What's your thoughts on being in the sun this weekend?
Oh, yeah, I tan. Weirdly enough, there is enough Native American in my family that my mom is technically a member of one or two tribes. That's hard to believe because she's a tall, blonde, white woman, and I'm a ginger white dude. But I do get a little bit tan. Alice does not, so she's in danger. 4 days in direct sun. I'm going to stay in the athlete area as much as humanly possible. I might whip out I brought the straw sun hat, so I'm probably going to be wearing that as much as possible.
I see there will be a couple channel members. Will that be an option soon?
Yes, so a little bit of a miss from me and Braden. We set them up, but the plan is to have a lower level option and a higher level option. We are still kind of hashing out what those are going to mean, but we will. That's on the to-do list for our projects when we get back from World Strongest Man.
Somebody said, good luck. Where can I watch this at?
Our YouTube channel, as much as humanly possible. And honestly, I think it's good to. What are some other people who are going to be putting stuff out? Paul Dwyer's here putting out some stuff. Liz and Laws are going to be putting stuff out. Mitch has a whole team here. Stay up to date on Reddit. Reddit likes to leak videos and score sheets and whatnot. There is, I believe, a live score sheet on World's Strongest Man on their website. Due to the TV contract, they can't put anything out directly. We're allowed to share up to 15-second clips, and we can share results basically as soon as they have. So as soon as the spreadsheet goes live on something, we can share as much as we're legally allowed to share. We're going to get out as much as we can, and hopefully you can piece together most of the action of the show.
Somebody said, is it only 7 reps for the overhead medley?
I think only is a weird word to use there. It was going to be 8, to be fair. But here's my breakdown. I think a 90-kilo dumbbell, way too light. 140-something kilo log, a little light, but I get it. 154-kilo axle, or circus barbell, a little light, but fine. And then they end with a 170-kilo axle. I love that. That was a change because the axle they brought just weighs 170 kilo. It's the same axle setup that they used for the max axle last year in the final. So I think it's going to be a challenge, especially 6 reps to pre-exhaust you. Even if I believe they're a little light, 170 axle is no joke at the end of that kind of ladder. So I think a lot of guys think they're going to finish and they're not.
We're moving on to the Q&A video.
Okay.
Somebody said, man, you have to make these car Q&As a regular thing. I don't know what it is, but I like hearing you and Alec jam more than probably any other strongman. This is gold content. Keep it up.
Okay. I'm trying to think of,
Lucas and Alex.
Lucas and Alex front porch is now Lucas and Alex driving in the car. We could, because we drive to the gym 30 minutes every day there and back. That'd be the easy time to do it.
Yeah.
I think we'll stick to the podcast room for the most part. But yeah, if there's ever any more comps that we drive to, I think Braden and Alec may be road tripping to Strongest Man on Earth. I'm definitely going to drive. I'm going to fly. I'm not doing the 17-hour drive, but there might be some Braden and Alec
That could be
jamming
pretty
on the
fun.
drive. Yeah.
Somebody commented, wait, 65,000? I need to hear the Lizzo story.
The Lizzo story. This was right around the time of the Arnold UK. If you scroll way back in my Instagram videos, there's a video that has 7 or 8 million views, and it was my last training session before Arnold UK, and I put my units of measure for my weights, because I did like 3 or 4 lifts. None of them were even heavy. It was just a tune-up before the show, and I was like, nobody's going to care about this video. And I had seen Too Buff for this. His channel had been using Lizzo's as a unit of measurement, so I used the weights on my video as Lizzo's, and that video got 7 or 8 million views right after the Arnold UK, and it gained 65,000 followers from one video. And for reference, I have like 88,000 right now. So the bulk of my Instagram growth is from a Lizzo joke, not having anything to do with me being a strongman.
But somebody said, I cannot express how excited I am that you're going to be at Royal Albert Hall in July. That makes it worth every penny and worth it, meet and greet worth it.
Nice.
You want to exaggerate it all and since you're going to be going?
No, I'm actually really excited to go to Royal Albert Hall. I've been pretty outspoken about not wanting to do Giants Live, not because of what Giants Live is, but because I'm very adamant about spreading out my schedule so that I can have proper preps and deload the body and keep the body healthy, because I don't think I have the same overall durability of some of the guys who compete year in and year out. Honestly, the only person who's doing that effectively is Mitch. Everyone else is missing podiums. They're not, like, yes, they're consistently good, but the only person that's getting on the podium a lot, or actually all the time, and is competing more than like 4 times a year is Mitch. I don't know if that's going to be me, but a lot of the guys said that there's nothing like Giants Live. You got to experience this at least once, and Royal Albert Hall is the one to do it at. So it is a bit of a risk during my Strongest Man on Earth prep, but just for the experience, for the good time, go check out UK Crowd. I'm going to go do it, and yeah, I'm actually pretty excited.
Your legs are massive. Would you like to see a max squat in competition? Something like you versus Mitch versus Thor would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a like bucket list thing before Thor decides to get done with his second round of Strongman, which I think he's got a good couple years left in him. And I would love it to be Raw in sleeves. I would love to see that. I mean, if the boys want wraps, I'll do wraps. But I think that would be probably one of the coolest events in Strongman history if we could make it happen at the right show.
How are you guys only at 7,000 subscribers? You're awesome.
Help us. Share the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Our views, it's funny enough, our views actually line up pretty well with the amount of subscribers we have. Who we have are very loyal, and our watch time is really high. Our engagement is really high. So thank you to everyone who's already here. But share the channel around. There are better, we are not the biggest channel, but I think we do put out, we are the best channel that just puts out real, straight up strongman content. There's no clickbait. There's no nonsense. We still do training. We still cover concepts. We still talk shows. We're not doing hot chip challenges or anything stupid like that. We're just covering strongmen and I think we found the most diehard 7,000. I need to find the next, 50,000, but we'll get there.
That's it.
That's
Anything else you want to say?
No, just one more thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. We are getting close to breaking even on Braden. I still lose money on YouTube paying Braden, but I'm not going to stop doing that because it's been fun to do this, and I think down the road we could grow this channel into something really, really cool. And Braden puts a lot of work into it. So thank you for that. Thank you for all the shout-outs for the work he's done so far at Worlds. But share, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, and hopefully I can get into the final and maybe come home with some hardware at the end of this thing.